It's about that time. It's wrapping up. The end is near for the Kyler Murray experience with the Arizona Cardinals. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Locked On Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Part 2 of the double dip from Monday. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Now the #1 sports podcast platform. I didn't think that I would be, because this is just football and it's entertainment. Obviously, I do this in some form or fashion for a living for the last, 15 years or so. I'm more sad that it didn't work out with Kyler Murray than I thought I'd be as the end is approaching. Looks like he's going to be cut. My pipe dream, let me defend myself for 1 second, okay? Just 1 second. I'm wrong from time to time, okay? I say once in a while, I'm wrong, okay? A lot of this is just prognostication. A lot of this is predicting. A lot of this is, opinion. I thought at the time, weeks and weeks and weeks ago, that Kyler Murray could garner a first-round pick for one specific reason. Because the market was so bare. And because it was Fernando Mendoza and really everybody else. You got a huge drop-off, and you got Ty Simpson and Carson Beck and, Garrett Nussmeier and all those guys. And it's like there was no, there were no other quarterbacks that were available that were anywhere close to Kyler Murray's talent. And the Malik Willis thing started. Not even with the Cardinals, just in general. And things started to dissipate more and more and more. Okay? So while that is completely gone at this point, and it looks like he's going to be cut before the start of the new year, Cardinals are going to save some money. It makes me sad because out of all of the situations that I've seen in my, decade and a half here, all of you who have, some who have been fans since they moved to Arizona, even in St. Louis years, they've been fans for a long time. Maybe some of you are newer fans. You just came in with the Carson Palmer era 10 years ago, whatever it is. Things were lining up to work. Even the 7-0 and 10-2, I called it a fugazi year because I didn't think much of Cliff Kingsbury and I as a head coach, and I still really don't. But that was on Kyler too. It was on some roster construction, but the Cardinals had more than enough to do what they were doing early in the season, later in that season. It wasn't like they were going through the gauntlet of the second half of this year like they were, and it was super quote unquote much easier opponents early in the season, and that's why they were stacking wins. They were a really good football team. And then 2024, they were leading leading the division 5-3, I believe, going into the bye week. They had won 4 in a row. They had a bunch of game winners where they had to march down the field for Chad Ryland to win them the football game at the end of the game. And then it sputtered. And then this past year, I felt duped. And I'm not making this about me. Hopefully I speak as some sort of mouthpiece for some of you who watch when it comes to the disappointment level. And it's not so much that I'm thinking about this team all the time when I kind of am, but it's I can live my life while the Cardinals are not winning games. But when it was like it was this past season, it hit me, made me sad. It's listen, I'm not a fan in the true sense of the word. Being in sports media, you lose your fandom. It's just what it is. But it's better for business, for sure, if the Cardinals win. It's better for everything. We need to talk about positive things. It's not all about future pacing. Well, if this and this and this. This is happening. So the end being near with Kyler Murray after he got hurt in week 5 and then just never came back. And then the Jonathan Gannon firing, Drew Petzing going elsewhere. And there's just so much uncertainty again surrounding this team. It's just, I wish it would have worked. The roster looked to be close going into 2025. Even if, say, Walter Nolan played and Will Johnson played 80 or 90% of the games, Mac Wilson, Garrett Williams, it's not, I'm not saying everybody had to play like it was Madden on easy with no injury possibility with that thing toggled off. Just give them a shot. So now it's kind of sad. Then you got to start from square one. Now, hope springs eternal, okay? This team has been bad for a long time, but I wanted to take a second out of all the, who should they draft in the first round? What about free agency? All that stuff, and just take a second. Just be like, yeah, this stunk. Cardinals fans didn't deserve this. The players didn't deserve this. Everybody saw all of the concrete building blocks. And I talked about all offseason. That's what it is. There's been concrete movement made to lend you to think this year's going to be different. And there was. I don't take that back. Those things were done. And then everything just sputtered out. So what does it mean that the Cardinals aren't going to get anything from Kyler Murray, barring any sort of random, team offering, a pick for him? Doesn't matter, because we live in a very different reality than we did a month ago. I'll discuss it next. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for, skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In a minute that I've been talking to you, 30 seconds, a minute that I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hire? There's a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals is also brought to you by FanDuel. College basketball is nonstop. It's March Madness, man. It's right around the corner. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night, from early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on board, and now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with the college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want, rivalry games, ranked matchups, whatever fits your fancy. You can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you see the slate playing out. Then you can apply the profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. So go safe, go bold. Ride with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style, now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals is also brought to you by Game Time. So we live in a world where we can stream anything, order food in minutes, and carry supercomputers in our pockets, and somehow buying tickets to a live game still feels complicated. Hidden fees, jumping prices, endless steps. There has to be a better way, and that's why I use the Game Time app. It gives fans the advantage and makes getting tickets simple, where it's NFL games, concerts, comedy, whatever you're into. For me, my dad's coming into town next week. We're going to see the Charlotte Hornets and Suns game Sunday night. I went right to the Game Time app because I know where it'll show the tickets that are available. With the price, it's one price. There's not going to be fees that come out later. And if it's a section I haven't sat in before, I click on the seats, and there's a panoramic view. All you have to do is shift your phone back and forth, and you can see what the vantage point would be if you bought those tickets and sat in the arena. It's awesome. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm not trying to be sad. It's just when things come to an end, it's not like a breakup when it's a quarterback. It's been 7 years, man. It's been 7 years. And it's something that, I think there's a bit of, and I'm not speaking for everybody, I promise, but I feel like there's a bit of a momentary helpless feeling where it's well, this was supposed to work. And then it's okay, so we were all caught in the mud and the muck of it not working. And then now this is the ramification of it not working. You're moving on from your quarterback that you've had for 7 years. This is just crazy. Free agency is here, and so are we. Get 1 month free of the Everydayers Club with code FREEAGENCY, no spaces, now through March 15th. Go ad-free and keep this conversation going on Discord. Join the club, man. Join them at lockedoncardinals.supercast.com. So what now? Does it matter that he's being cut? Does it matter? Was this the most obvious thing that could happen when you factor in the the contract and, the money still guaranteed and things like that? Probably. His injuries? Probably. The fact that he hasn't really amounted to the potential that people expected him to be at the frequency that he was expected to be at, being number one pick overall. Like, I'll remember Kyler Murray for the oh my God moments. Yeah, it wasn't great sometimes, but what he did in between the lines, we saw special and magic from Kyler Murray. And that's why up until week 5 of last year, up until week 6 of last year, so through week 5 of last year, I was a Kyler guy and still am. I hope he succeeds elsewhere. But this isn't like oh, you know what, Goldie? You know what, Paul Goldschmidt? Go get your ring, kiddo. Go get your ring, buckaroo. It's not that. This isn't like, oh, Kyler Murray's going to have this lasting impression on this organization. Everybody's going to root for his success elsewhere. Like, you obviously don't want anybody to fail. Like, find some joy. But he's not like a darling of the Arizona sports landscape. So when I look at him getting cut, it's like, yeah, okay, just not going to think about you again. It's a relationship. Maybe this is what it was. I'm trying to think of like the perfect analogy to use for what this relationship was like. Maybe it was like 2 kids in college, never been in a relationship before, with Kyler Murray and Cliff, and and it's at a party school. Yeah, nailed that. Didn't even write that down. It's like 2 18 or 19-year-olds in college, their first ever relationship at a party school. You're together a few years. It's like, it didn't work out. Just the situation wasn't right. Other things were going on. Had class, but I wasn't really studying. But it's like, it wasn't dysfunctional. It just didn't evolve and mature to what you needed it to do and to be for the Cardinals to win more football games than they lost. That's it. No animosity, no loathsome, no hatred, nothing. Just didn't work. And that's where we are. And that's okay. And I also commiserate with you because it sucks also. Because even if you didn't like Kyler Murray as a player, people like quarterbacks who win. If he would have won more games, if they would have made the playoffs, last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, we're having a different conversation. We may be having a restructure extension for Kyler Murray, which is what I highlighted going into last season. It's like, if you told me this team would win 5 games or win 12, I'd pick 12 because everything concretely changed. And it's still nothing changed. I'm here with you. Yeah. I just wanted to take a minute, take a beat among all the noise and just acknowledge the fact that it's over and here's to bigger and better things. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.